PayPal has released some amazing news. In this video, I'm going to tell you what the news is, and in the second half of this video, I'm going to show you my DCF valuation on PayPal, and I'll give you an exact price target of what I think PayPal is worth today. So let's get started. So, as you can see, PayPal is currently trading at $63 per share for a market capitalization of $65 billion. Trailing PE of 15.87, forward PE of 14.97. I'm going to show you in just 1 second why I think this is dirt cheap. Okay, here's the main reason why it's cheap. Well, one reason, just one reason. Look at the free cash flow per share, trailing 12 months, $4.59. And just about all of that is going to share repurchases. So let's go back to the share price, $63. Of that $63, PayPal is buying back $4.59 per of that per year. That is a massive share buyback, and they can afford it because they make boatloads of money. Okay, so let's get into it. Back in January, Alex Chriss released 6 innovations. Basically, 6 things that they're working on. They call them innovations. I just call it the next products that they're going to release that will make them billions. So number 1 is a transform checkout, which is a faster checkout process. Number 2 is Fastlane. I'll go over those in later videos. Number 3 is smart receipts, which I'm actually going to go over in this video for a little bit. Number 4 is the advanced offers platform, which I'm really going to go over in this video. Number 5 is a reinvented PayPal application, and number 6 is Venmo business profiles. So let's get to it. But before we do, my cat Shamao says to like and subscribe. I can never say that word. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of context into what's going on, and this actually dives into the news, the big news. So what's going on here is what drives Google's revenues. Where does Google make all of its profit? All of Google's profit comes from Google Ads. So these are ads displayed on Google search as well as affiliate websites. Almost every website on the internet, when they want to monetize, what do? Their first stop is Google. And they say, hey, Google, we want to pop you up. You get this little corner slot on our website. And then Google feeds the ads based on the user visiting that website. So, for example, you go to bmx.com and then you go to some other website and you'll see an ad for BMX bicycles. That's basically how it works because Google knows every page that you visit. They track you very discreetly, very intelligently. Now, how do they track you? Google does not only track you through Google search. Actually, the main thing, I'm going to give you the inside baseball on this, is Google's hidden treasure product is Google Analytics. This is what drives everything. Everything. This is what makes Google Google. This is what gives them their money. This is what gives them their information. Okay, so what happens here is let's say you go to bmx.com. What they do is almost every website uses Google Analytics. So what they do is when you visit the website, any page on the website, they send Google a ping. They say, hey, Google, this user, such, through the browser, visit this website, and then they enter that information into Google Analytics. So Google knows every site that you've ever visited virtually. So why do they do this? Why does the website give Google this data? It's not a one-sided thing. Google doesn't force them to do this. The reason they do this is because this product is awesome. Google Analytics drives Web 2.0 for businesses. It drives everything in marketing. I'll show you why. For example, on my Patreon, I've linked Patreon to Google Analytics. It was just one field. All I had to give them was my Google Analytics identifier, and then boom, it was done. Here it is, linked through the back end, through Patreon. So I can track every user that visits my Patreon page through Google Analytics, and I get a lot of insights. Now, for example, I know what countries people come from that visit that Patreon page. By the way, thank you to my Spanish, Ireland, and Netherlands friends. So I know what country people come from, and it drills down to the city. That's the lowest information they will ever give you is the city and the counts for that city. You know, for example, what pages they came from to visit your site. So, for example, if you're marketing, if you have an ad up on Facebook and they go from Facebook to your page, you'll know that just by that link on your page that they came from that Facebook ad. So they get this, I forget the term, but they know where it came from, the source where it came from. And this is extremely important because it lets them know how effective their advertising is. Lets them know, hey, this Facebook ad is doing great. This other Facebook ad is doing terrible. Let's cancel the terrible one and focus on the great one. It is awesome for A/B testing. If you don't know what A/B testing is, you can look it up. But anyway, so you know exactly where it came from. It could be Facebook, it could be Twitter or X, it could be virtually any website. And you know exactly where it came from, even YouTube or Google search. So you know what's driving your traffic. And it's extremely important. And here's another page for it. And you get so much information from Google Analytics. For example, in this case, I know the average engagement time for users is 55 seconds. I need to work on that. Okay, so how does this link with PayPal? What does any of this have to do with PayPal? Okay, so what Google does is they only know what the websites send them. So, for example, if you go to bmx.com, you're browsing around various pages. Google knows every page that you visit on bmx.com because they send Google that information. However, when you make a payment, and if you make that payment through PayPal, PayPal has their own checkout system. Now, PayPal does not send Google that information. So Google they're limited by what data they get. That's really their only real downfall to their advertising system is that limitation. They only get what websites freely give to them. PayPal does not give them that information, and neither do other payment providers. So, for example, Google does not know, they do know that you visited a bicycle website, but they do not know what purchases you made. That's where PayPal comes in. PayPal knows your purchases. So what they're doing is they're releasing an advertising system, and they're able to curate your advertising, a company's advertising, for the actual purchases made by that user. So this is actually this is a little lower level than what Google is able to supply them. That's the reason for that little lecture at the beginning. Okay, so yeah, what's the new news? PayPal announces new leaders to build new advertising platform and accelerate consumer product innovation. I'm just reading the page real quick. This is the press release. Okay, so PayPal today announced new leadership appointments that will drive the creation of a new advertising platform and strengthen the company's consumer value proposition. Mark Grether, I don't know, will join on May 28th as Senior Vice President, General Manager, PayPal Ads. And John Anderson joined as SVP, General Manager, Consumer Group. Grether and Anderson will report to Diego Scott, yada, yada, yada. Advertising platform. PayPal's long-standing relationships with millions of consumers and merchants make the company uniquely positioned to create an advertising platform that is rooted in commerce. Oh, as an aside, PayPal transacts billions of transactions per year. That's the amount of data that Google could curate and feed into their AI algorithm into the advertising. PayPal actually controls 25% of the online checkouts, which is massive. They're the biggest player by far. Grether will join the company to build an advertising business that will help make merchants smarter to sell more products and services effectively, as well as enable consumers to discover more of what they love. The advertising business which will include PayPal Advanced Offers platform, will use customer insights to build a dynamic, truly personalized platform that will drive better advertising spend for performance for merchants while delighting consumers with compelling offers. Also, as an aside, this is actually in sort of like a beta testing mode, and it's actually currently being used by eBay for testing. And you can actually sign up to it, and it'll be on like you can sign up and then they'll get to you. It's in sort of like this testing period with a couple clients, and they're going to expand it. Gruther has been a leader in the advertising industry for more than 20 years. He joins PayPal from Uber, where he was Vice President, General Manager of Uber Advertising. Under his leadership, Uber Advertising grew to a $1 billion business with more than 500,000 advertisers globally. He successfully led the acceleration of the company's global advertising business, helping merchants, brands, and other advertisers reach Uber's highly engaged user base across its mobility and delivery divisions. Prior to Uber, Gruther led the product strategy for Amazon's advertising business, and he served as CEO of Sysmeck, one of the largest independent advertising platforms globally, which was sold to Amazon in 2019. Prior to Sysmeck, Mark was the co-founder of Xaxis, which became a leading pragmatic media company. Commerce and advertising are deeply connected, and we believe that the advertising platform we are building at PayPal will become a must-use marketing channel for merchants big and small. I'm thrilled to have Mark join our team and lead this important work, said Scotty. Consumer business. Anderson spent over 20 years at the intersection of technology platforms and payments. He will be accountable for PayPal's consumer business, including product strategy for PayPal and Venmo globally. Oh, and also, I forgot to mention, this was also will be used on Venmo, which is all data that PayPal has. Anderson joins PayPal from Plaid, where he was head of product and payments and oversaw significant growth of Plaid's payments product suite. I have forgotten how to read. Prior to Plaid, John spent a decade at Meta in numerous product and leadership roles, including head of product for Oculus, head of Facebook Japan, and head of product and operations teams for payments, commerce, and risk. Prior to joining Meta, John founded GroupCard, a social greeting payments platform that was acquired by Incom. John brings strong experience in developing groundbreaking, personalized experiences to PayPal, which will drive relevance of our brands, fuel our innovation pipeline, and give more reasons for consumers and merchants to choose PayPal. So now, this is a full rethinking of PayPal's advertising business. They're basically rebuilding it from the ground up under this new leadership. That's why this is important, to pick the right leaders right now to build this whole new platform. Now, actually, this image here is actually from PayPal's page, their little advertising page of the 6 innovations earlier. Now, this is the one for the Advanced Offers platform. Sorry. So yes, this is the Advanced Offers platform, and this is sort of a prototype that you see on the left. So, for example, in this case, you see a Bluetooth speaker and nearly $500 billion of transaction data analyzed with AI. So they're going to use artificial intelligence to drive their Advanced Offers platform. So heading on to my DCF. On my DCF, I'm actually assuming this is a conservative model. I'm just going to show you one of my 3 models today. On this conservative model, all PayPal has to do in 2024 is deliver 8% growth. That's a terrible number. Now, assuming they do 2024 this year, 8% this year, 7% next year, 7%, yada yada, going down to 5% by 2032. It is my estimation that these numbers are terrible. Here it is in graph form. This is assuming this is like a worst case scenario. I think this is the worst case scenario. This is, in my opinion, if none of those 6 things work. So they have to go 0 for 6 for this scenario to play out. 0 for 6. What happens if I think PayPal gets 0 for 6 in my conservative case? That gives them, through my DCF, an implied share price of $92 $1.98. So this was actually from January, this valuation model. It says November, but this was updated in January. For a then upside of 52.31%, which is actually not much different from today since PayPal stock has kind of gone sideways. So I think there's significant upside at PayPal. I think they're significantly undervalued. And I love the new leadership team. I love the 6 new things they're bringing to market. Everything looks like it's going great. And we just got to see the execution. Right now, it's all about execution. Alex Chris is CEO. He was brought on late to last year. And yeah, so far so good. And I think there are bright futures ahead. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.